Welcome to PPI Recording Studio nestled in the cradle of New York City. Welcome to the second weekly episode for the month of July 2026 for Dedication Around the Nation weekly courtesy video marketing series and interview series because we are getting it out to the nation and beyond. Let me do that again. There we go. There we go. Hey! First photo you see come up is a thank you to CATHIE SARGENT out in Pennsylvania, who I call Sergeant K from PA. Are you ready for the drill today? So CATHIE and I are childhood friends. We go way, way, way back. She's been a long, long, long time subscriber to the channel, way before this channel even existed for video series. And CATHIE, for example, was at the 2012, I was going to say 2012, same thing, Baruch concert I did with Ron Jackson, Keith Ingham, Cedric Sacroon. You're going to see that on your screen. There's actually YouTube of it. Put a little love in your heart. CATHIE was there. She actually took a couple of photos that I used for promo, and thank you, CATHIE, for that. Now, in this video series, we featured her grandkids frequently, and that's the Adster and the Loosh Man. But today, we got a different photo from CATHIE, and you're going to see that on your screen. Really cool, right on her porch, where she lives. Opens the door, goes out, and here it is. It's this bird's nest of hummingbird eggs, too. Hummingbird is really cool. So thank you, CATHIE, for sending that in, and I know she's going to keep us posted on the development of the eggs. Very cool. Next photo you see come up, and that is for last week's episode here, Dedication Around the Nation, July 3, 2026, and that was our annual Happy 4th of July celebratory episode as well, coupled with the 250th birthday of the United States. That was a big birthday bash for that, right? And we have Bob Hilberg's birthday here last week, and I did a 4-song medley, or as Chip would say, mashup, and that was of Irving Berlin and George M. Cohan. Now, George's birthday actually was July 3rd, too, so a lot going on last week. If you haven't seen it, live link in the text description area makes it very easy to click on to watch. Now, follow up to that July 3, 2026 episode, you're going to see that on your screen. It's actually this photo right here. And this is trash, folks, that I took out of dumpsters, found on the street, both ways. They ended up back at my place and were repurposed and gone to recycling. Everything in that photo is recycled except one item that I was actually given. But all those were taken out of the trash to a certain degree and then repurposed. Now, the whole idea of recycling and repurposing, right, is to give it another life and have it find another life and put it to really good use. Well, this next example follow-up is from Dateline, Alabama. This is repurposing to the next step, if you will. You're going to see it on your screen. This is the Argosy 6. Now, the Argosy 6 was a floating barge casino down in Alabama, and it was destined for the junk pile. Some people stepped in and they actually repurposed, skinnied it down, took about a year to make it fit to be eco-friendly, if you will. They took it out about 3 days ago, sailed it 23 miles out, actually towed it, off the Alabama coast, sank it in 123 feet of water. It's 60 feet to the top of the barge, if you will, of the casino. So there's a lot of water there for ships to come through and all that. But now it's an artificial reef. That whole area, according to the reporters, was all sand on the bottom of the ocean. Now this is going to proliferate a reef, which is going to be wonderful for animals and fish and all that kind of thing. Certainly going to make it a scuba diving area for divers to go and explore as well. So really good job, state of Alabama. Instead of having to go to the junk heap, they now repurpose that. So that's the whole idea, repurposing, right? Make it live another life. So next couple of items you're going to see here are from What's New for the Deep Blue Desk here at Dedication Around the Nation. This is Dateline, Tasmania. I'm going to introduce you to Neil the Seal. Now, Neil the Seal is an elephant seal. It's about 6 years old. And Neil the Seal now, this is about the fifth year that he's gone back. He keeps going back because he was born in this particular spot off of Tasmania. And it's near a town. It's near Hobart. So problem is now Neil is getting bigger, 6 years old. He's still got a lot of growth to go. And now he's presenting much more problem because he's bigger and he's damaging certain parts of whatever he lands on and crawls on and walks on. So it's a problem. Now, they're giving him a lot of space. They're giving him a lot of latitude. Local, city, and federal government here, the townspeople are giving him a lot of latitude, which is really cool. But where's the point of no return for this? And I bring this up, and there's a lot of media coverage about it. He's an international internet sensation. You're going to see it's ABC News in Australia, also Current Affair in Australia, 9 News in Australia. You're going to see that as I was talking, right? But I bring it up because, and I'm not just the only one, don't have a really good track record as people are doing this. And I refer to FREYA off of Norway 4 years ago, and you're going to see that on your screen. Now, FREYA was a walrus. Now, walrus and elephant seals are 2 different species. They are both marine mammals. They are both pinnipeds, but they're 2 different species. And still the same result can kind of come around. So FREYA was living on this town off of Norway, and it just was very comfortable with being in the humankind. Problem is that because FREYA was so huge, FREYA would jump up like on a pontoon boat to just hang out in the sun, and it would sink the boat. So this became more and more of a problem. The end result was the government decided to euthanize FREYA. Not my choice, not a lot of people's choices. It created a lot of public fervor. So have we learned? And that's my point of bringing up FREYA. Have we learned now? So hopefully we have. And, you know, certainly for Neil the Seal, I'm hoping it doesn't go that direction. God put certainly all our energies and resources and put minds together to make it happen. I know there's now a petition going around that's being signed to help Neil locally out in Australia. So we keep our fingers crossed. I'll definitely keep you posted. Now, to continue on from a counterpoint of that is we can all live together, right? This is from 9 News Australia yesterday. I saw this. So cool. 2 jet skiers were scooting along New South Wales, which is one of the states of Australia, Gold Coast, just south of Brisbane. They were scooting along the water in the ocean. They found a humpback whale that had this really thick rope wrapped around its tail, or its fluke, right? So they were able to actually get in the water and cut the line away from the tail, freed the humpback whale. So good news, right? Good field story, all that, which is really cool. Live link in the text description there to all of these links you can watch. They're all short, pretty, like 3-4 minute stories from news, but the really cool part is that these fellows really made it their business to help out, and it really worked all the way around. Now they're rather heroes on the internet as well, which is very cool, so good job. So last one is from ABC News from Australia, not ABC News that you think here locally, but ABC Australia. And this is an update on the Great Barrier Reef, which is obviously the biggest reef structure in the whole world. Northern, eastern part of Australia, goes from Cairns all the way down. Now, the really cool part about this, and I encourage you to watch this, is there's so many different pieces of this puzzle now that are coming together. It's local, state, federal government, nonprofits, private entities are all coming together to make this happen, to preserve what we have, protect what we have. And one of the key people that they talked to in this interview, which is why I brought up about the recycling, he said, please be careful what ends up from the land into the ocean, what gets drained off, runoff from rain, right? All different kinds of pesticides, et cetera, nasty liquids like oils and all that kind of thing, but certainly trash that goes in the ocean. Please be so mindful. That's what this gentleman said, and that's why I keep bringing this up, people. We got to do it better. Kind of like Neil, we got to do it better. We can't just go where we were and go by the past and think, well, that's how it was. No, we got to keep improving on what we're doing. We can do it better, and that's the point. So Project 142 Constant Series is the sponsor of the dedication, around the nation weekly video series and interview series, because we are getting out the nation and beyond. You see that logo on your screen? This series, speaking of making it better, right? This series I created in my brain. April 2020 was an answer to the pandemic. I took a negative and turned it around and made it a positive. Took 21 years of self-taught marketing from doing all my hundreds of gigs for years personally, and also being artistic director of Project 142 concert series, and taking it and molding it and sculpting it into this video series. I hit up Chip about it, the owner of PPI Recording Studio. We launched it right here, April 28, 2020, and now we are in our 7th season of Dedication Around the Nation and helping to spread the word, like, for example, the trash. Like, for example, this particular poster right here. This is a brand new that I started promoting last week, nonprofit. I ended up doing a private gig a little more than a week ago, and this is for Goldilocks Farm Sanctuary in Southport, Connecticut. They are a wildlife sanctuary. They also have bunnies and ponies that they bring out to public events if you hire them to do so, but you can actually go to the sanctuary itself to visit. Live links in the text description area. That's Jody, who is the owner, who I met, and you're going to see a photo of Jody on your screen that I took when we were at that private event. So this is what this series has all boiled down to now, to really help put that energy out there, put that knowledge, put that information out there to make what we are doing better. That is the point. So, having said that, always sing a song in this particular series. Been doing it since the very first episode, April 28, 2020, and all revolved from, and I should say, add on, this all started from Project 142 concert series, which I am the artistic director of, which was founded by a retired minister here in New York in 2010 as a house concert series. He hired me in 2013, meaning Dick Leonard, who was the founder. And now here we are, so many 13 years later, actually, and now I've morphed it into this video series, which is really cool. It wasn't on the map, it wasn't the plan, but certainly that has been the evolutionary steps along the way. So today I'm going to take it out with a song I haven't sung in over 3 years on this series, and it all feeds to all of this. It's talking about the love of animals. It's talking about the love of nature. It's about respect. It's about how you interact with the environment and how we can make it better. L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you'll adore, and love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart and please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. Love was made for me and you. Hey, thank you, Chip. All right, yay! So thank you for tuning in today. Check out all those live links in the text description area that we have manifested for 6 seasons now, working on our 7th season. Paul Ponder's podcast series. Pearl Street Station Restaurant, 53 Summer Street, with the new owners up in Malden, Massachusetts, where I performed jazz brunches. I'm going to be back up there again before the year's out. I know it. Also, certainly Goldilocks Farm Sanctuary, certainly Gotham Whale, certainly International Women in Jazz, and of course, PPI Recording Studio, 48 years of the city's oldest recording studio here in New York City. We will see you next episode, and stay cool. And thank you, Mr. Chip Fabrizi. Happy summer.